arriving at Davisville Station. Doors will open on the right. Line 1, Fort Finch. Please stand clear of the doors.
Train or TWA button or payphone on the platform. You can also report concerns using the Safe TTC app.
Hey folks, it is a very cold Sunday, January 14th. The time is 3:09 p.m. and the temperature is -6 degrees Celsius, and with the wind chill, it is -14 degrees. Oops. And I'm here at Davisville Station in Midtown, and I don't know if this is going to focus or not, but there you can see -6 feels like 14 or -14. And there's a look south. And I am making my way home, but I have to return an item here, a Smartish Grip Monk case for my iPhone 15 Pro. It says super grippy, protective, and slim fit. But slim it is not. So I'm going to be making my way up to Staples where I can do an Amazon return. But I thought I would take a different way to get there. Rather than the usual straight up Yonge Street route, I'll wander into the residential area and I'll take a few walkways that'll connect me to a street that'll lead me pretty much straight up to where Staples is. So this is the intersection of Yonge and Davisville. I guess Chaplin here on the west side, Davisville on the east side. I just recorded a video up in the junction, and these would be the coldest videos I've recorded this year, or at least these are the coldest conditions I've recorded these videos in. Seen what?
Like the YouTube cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen one before. They're fucking tiny.
DJI Pocket 3.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Sweet.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, so I'm doing a video right now.
Cool.
And there's a look north of Yonge Street. Guess the camera piqued his interest. So I've never actually been up these walkways, but I've seen them on Google Maps before. There's the Burrito Boys. And the way this Amazon return works is you don't have to put your item in a box. You just bring it as it is and show them a QR code. And they'll send it back via Purolator. Ooh, I am walking directly into a biting wind. I think that guy was playing something over a speaker. And you'll notice there's a lot of rental stock in these larger 1970s era apartment buildings in this area. And full disclosure, I wasn't planning on turning this walk into a video. I was probably going to get off at Eglinton Station. I'm going away for quite a while coming up. I wanted to have enough videos in the tank. Some bicycle parking rings. This is Davisville Junior Public School on the left. So Davisville Avenue here will take you over to Mount Pleasant Road, and then it'll continue east from there. But if you look at this area from Google Maps, you'll notice there's east-west routes through here, but there's not much in the way of north-south routes. If this were a town in Sim City, I would probably blow this whole area up and reconstruct it. Get rid of a lot of this low-rise housing and make it all medium density. I think this will connect me up to the next street. I'm not sure if this is the walkway I saw online or not. No, it is not. This can't be. I don't want to cheat and get out Google Maps, but I'm pretty sure this is not it. This is just a parking lot I'm cutting through. Pretty sure I have to go a little more east of here. And then there should be another walkway just on the other north side, or on the north side of the first one I take. And just south of here is a street called Merton, and just on the south side of that is the Beltline Trail. That property is owned by the Salvation Army. It's a retirement residence. I hope everyone's inside and warm today. It's a pretty big facility. And a lot of these rental buildings over here have development notices. Because a lot of their owners are trying to squeeze condos onto the lots. That's something you're really seeing north up around Yonge and Eglinton. In fact, the building I'm in is trying to do that. Feels like I may have gone too far, actually. What am I doing? I think the walkway this is what happens When I don't nap, I'll walk out. I think it's through this retirement residence. There we go. That guy's pizza is going to be frozen by the time he gets it home. Wonder if this is a public walkway or if this would be considered trespassing. I'm guessing it's public based on the lack of connections north-south from these residential streets. Also, it looks like this building on the right was built at a very different time from this one on the left. So I think this is Millwood Road, and this will actually carry on all the way into Leaside. I'll swerve around June Rollins Park. And you can see the towers at Yonge and Eglinton straight ahead. I think that guy was carrying a tripod for cameras. All right, I think this street here is Belsize Drive. What I want to do is follow this street. I think it's Tullis Drive, Tullis. And this should take me northwest and deposit me onto Yonge Street, just south of the Staples. Formerly known as Business Depot. You know, you're in an area that initially developed more as suburbs when you have to deal with a nonsensical street grid like this. In Europe, this would be normal, but there wouldn't be single-family homes. There's the church and Yonge Street just off to the west there. I've lived in this area for quite a while, and I don't know if I've ever walked on this street before. I know I've taken my bike along it. Oh my, this is freezing cold. And Staples as a chain is mired in some controversy lately. Well, I guess it's the Premier of Ontario once again creating a scandal for himself. The Service Ontario locations where you go to get your license and health card renewed, and your license plate tags. It's so cold I can barely speak, and that sort of thing are normally standalone locations. But the province made a deal where Staples will be exclusively taking on their new kiosks, and they'll be shutting down standalone Service Ontario locations, which I believe already were privately run, if I'm not mistaken. But the province is hell-bent on privatizing as much as they can. And that condo straight ahead is where the Staples is, where the former art shop condos, where the former art shop used to be, now the art shop condos. There's plans for a 29-story building here. One of the problems with this agreement with Staples is the Premier has ties to one of the higher up execs in that chain. And this wasn't a public or transparent process, which is right on brand for the province. And we've made it to Yonge Street. Nor was it something that was talked about or even hinted at that the province would be doing. Small businesses always seem to lose out whenever the province does a deal. And they certainly lost out big during COVID. And exceptions were made for big box retailers to operate, while the smaller guys who didn't have the online setups to compete were forced to go online and pick up only. And a lot of small businesses were driven out of business. Well, I cannot wait to get inside. There's Oretta. They've got a location on King Street West. I am walking directly into a freezing wind here. So I'm not going to record my interaction with the employees, but I will record heading up into the Staples. That's Eglinton Station. Just on the left, I would have came out of there if I weren't making this video. There's Farm Boy, a Canadian competitor to Whole Foods. I don't shop there, it's just too damn expensive. There's also a Loblaws and a Metro in this neighborhood. I think a lot of people get the prepared meals at Farm Boy and then just eat here. But they've got a shipping counter at the Staples, so I need to pull out my Amazon account and get that QR code ready. One time I came here and the guy working at the shipping counter recognized me. Alright, I'm gonna ship my item through Purelator after a lineup. And I will resume after that, and I'll let you know how long it took. It is 3:29 p.m. right now. Well, mission accomplished. It is 3:34, so that didn't take very long at all. And I was thinking, rather than just head straight up Yonge Street making my way home, how about we cut through the Yonge Eglinton Centre? And I'll use a shortcut that I usually use through the Winners. Just look at how windy it is. Oh, I cannot wait to get back outside. Where that condo is going up used to be an office building that was occupied by TD Malash Monarchs, a large group insurance company. So at first I gave myself a long cut. I went out of my way to get up here. Now we're going to take a bit of a shortcut. That guy just got some eats from Alouette Go, which is quite delicious. In fact, I had Alouette Go for dinner Thursday night. So just up ahead is the intersection of Yonge and Eglinton, which recently made the news for being, for the most part, open for the first time in about 10 years due to the never-ending crosstown construction. Although, as you can see, the area is still rather inconvenienced. right and left turns are still not allowed, and I think that might be a permanent thing at this intersection. It made sense when all the construction was going on, and it was down to one lane. Really, this should be a scramble crossing, much like Yonge and Dundas and Yonge and Bloor. It's got the pedestrian volume to support it. And especially now they've banned left and right turns. But the sidewalk just to the right here on the south side is short-lived. There's a construction site that blocks the way. But this is as open as this intersection has been in about a decade. Although you used to be able to head into the subway station from any one of the four corners here. And those underground links are still severed. This is the only side you can get into the subway from. The one from that building there, which is actually up for redevelopment eventually, has been severed. And apparently there's one roughed into that building that just needs to be connected once the LRT opens. Same goes with the one from the food court at the Yonge Eglinton Centre. But we're going to head up through a tiny Winners location.
Regular milk and then mix it in.
But it is one that I am guessing is going to expand in size pretty soon. There's a rooftop patio that's open to the public here until 9 p.m. This has always been a tiny Winners, which is similar to Marshall's if you're American and not familiar to the brand. It's actually owned by the same company. But these stores are usually huge and have a houseware section. This one just has a condensed men's clothing section and an unusually small section for women's clothing. They can only do so much with such a tiny store. And even though we're in the thick of winter, we've already moved on to spring clothing, which I think is pretty stupid. But what's happening is this Good Life Fitness is moving into where the Toys R Us used to be. And I speculated that that would happen before that was even announced. And I imagine Winners would expand north into where Good Life Fitness is now and gain a significant amount of new retail space. Especially for such a prominent location, I think they could use a full-size Winners there. That's normally my shortcut going to and from Yonge and Eglinton, walking through that Winners. There's a movie theater just over there, which is quite easily found. It's not really the kind of place where you would get lost. There's a supermarket and an LCBO just below. I think I did one dedicated video through here. I posted in April of last year. And after regular business hours, you can exit out this way, but you cannot enter this way. There's been times where I've tried to cut in through this entrance of the Yonge Eglinton Centre and been met by a locked door. And this street here is Orchard View on the right, and there is Duplex Avenue. And the first video I ever did on this channel that really pulled big view numbers was a hyperlapse called Toronto to Bangkok. That's my entire journey from Toronto to Bangkok. Yep, let's just roll right through the crossing. And I started right here in front of 58 Orchard View Boulevard. And Duplex is supposed to be closed to the south of here, but people have moved the barriers over and knocked over the road closed sign. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this walk of long cuts and shortcuts as I made my way to a Staples to return a falsely advertised cell phone case for my iPhone 15 Pro. Do people still call them cell phones? Oh well. And now I'm going to head home, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there's a super thanks button appearing below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, by the time you're watching this, I should be in a warm and sunny climate, but that'll be for me to worry about. Anyways, stay warm, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.